Hello, everybody. Hi. So I wanted to talk today a little bit about the importance of having an inner life, an orientation inward, and what that means exactly. So just to emphasize the importance of having a kind of meditation practice or some kind of practice where you are orienting on away from the outside. We put a lot of our emphasis on the outside as we need to, right? With our daily life, our daily work, interacting with people, busyness, stress, commuting to work, so on and so forth. And of course, our orientation is outward. We're hardwired to orient outwards, right? It's part of our genetic history. And so kind of counter-instinctual is to, in the sense of what the Taoists say, and have said, is to turn the light around. So, and to look inwards, to shine that light inward. And so I feel it's particularly important to do that and to bring that message out to all. The importance of you finding some time to turn the light around, to explore what you're sensing, what you're feeling, how it's affecting you, what the impact is, to just also sit and to be, to feel the breath rising and falling, the chest rising and falling, the breath coming in and out. And one thing that I tell some of my students who from time to time is, one thing they can do, because we spend so much time out in the world, we forget that we have an inner reality, we have an inner life. We really forget about that. And so if you have the opportunity to do this, give it a try. So, of course, not all of us do. We can't really do this in the middle of our office work, or we're teaching a class or something. But in another situation, you can just set your meditation timer to ring for 15-minute intervals, just for an hour. So you're in the middle of doing something at home, doing some work or some cleaning or something like that, and then you hear the bell ring, and just take a moment to stop and just feel, just sense, to be, just for a short few breaths or however long you feel. It's good for you, but just to feel that sense of turning inward, being intimate with yourself, feeling the meaning of that. It doesn't only have to be with doing activities like that or meditation. It can also be through a martial art or through a prayer, in many different ways. But just to emphasize that focus of turning the light around, of turning inward, of moving away from always going out, and the reactivity that is connected with that. We just have to think, for example, when we're driving to work, the kind of conflicting kind of elements that can happen with that, or the activity, or riding your bike. And there's a lot of intensity can be, right? So if we have a kind of practice, we have a kind of place where we can go to and we can be. And we can then also be out of that place, our sitting on our meditation cushion, or our sacred space that we spend time in. But we can be out of that place too, and we can set a bell just to let the bell ring, and as a reminder to turn inward, or to remember when we're out in the world to stop, take a breath, and just feel, just sense, just be. It's something which I feel particularly today is very important in our racy world, and would like to invite you all to engage in that if you're not already doing that, to turn the light around. Yeah, and this is also an invitation if any of you want to get in touch with me, or join a group that my colleague and me are organizing, it's an online retreat from February 20th to 22nd. My colleague Merav Schreiber and I are teaching it. If you're interested in participating, it's on the inner critic, which is a teaching from the Diamond Approach, on the inner critic or super ego. Just write to me, ridhwangoldenfields@gmail.com, and I'll get back in touch with you. And if you have any questions or anything you'd like to write, feel free to do so. And wishing you all well on your journey. Okay, bye-bye.